All right, guys. So Candace Owens might be sued again. I'm sure most of you guys know she's gotten multiple threats of being sued from other people. She is currently being sued by French President Emmanuel Macron and his wife. And I've been very vocal about this. I don't know how many times I could say this. I'm not a Candace Owens hater. I actually like her and her content, but I'm also a truthful person. I don't live inside of a cult where just because I like somebody, I just worship everything that they do and they can do no wrong. I think she's losing her mind with these conspiracies. I've been very clear about it. I do not agree with a lot of these conspiracies. And it looks like that there's another guy who's threatening to sue her. His name is actually Josh Hammer. Let's go ahead and play that clip.
I'm talking to lawyers. I think I'm a lawyer by background. I clerked for a federal appeals judge. I know a thing or two about United States constitutional law. I think that we have a potentially serious case here for defamation, and I'm very much speaking with lawyers, and we'll see what happens.
She is lying in a way that is resonating with people in a way that damages you significantly.
Yeah, it's just so evil. I mean, Charlie was a good friend of mine. I mean, I've known him for 5-6 years, give or take, but we really became close over the final year and a half of his life. We were in daily communication. I don't actually know precisely the extent to which he and Candace communicated in the final year or two, but she very much was on the outs of Turning Point USA, and my understanding is that they were not in touch at all. I mean, maybe kind of a happy birthday kind of here or there, but not close touch. And I mean, Aaron, when I first found out that,
I do want to touch on that because I pointed that out in a few of my Candace Owens videos, and there were people in the comments who said that I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about or I'm lying or whatever. No, it's a fact. Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk were not that close over the last few years. They just weren't. Now, some people are saying, well, she spoke at a Turning Point USA event or she got invited to this with Charlie Kirk. That's fine. That doesn't mean that you guys were close. Like, you can still be cordial and cool, but not close. They're not close like they're hanging out or talking every day or even talking every month. Like, they were legit just, you go your way, I go my way. I have no beef with you. I'll even invite you to the Turning Point events every once in a while. I'll even make you a speaker. Like, he didn't hate her, but they also weren't really all that close anymore like they used to be back when she actually worked for Turning Point USA. The other thing I want to say, too, that's extremely important, Candace Owens is going to have to be very, very careful. If you keep going after people with money, with the means to go ahead and file a lawsuit, because let's make something very clear. Anybody can sue anybody for any reason. You can sue me. I can sue you. She can sue her, whatever. All you got to do is go to a lawyer and say, hey, I think this person did blah, blah, blah. I'll pay you this. Can you sue? That's it. Like, Candace is really kind of setting herself up with going off a rocker with these crazy conspiracies. And I know her husband has a crap ton of money. Candace Owens has money too, but her husband, George Farmer, has an unbelievable amount of money. He's truly wealthy. But it may save you in terms of defending yourself. But if you keep getting sued, eventually somebody's going to win that case and you're going to have to cough up a crap ton of money, which is why when you have as huge of a platform as she has, you have to be careful with what you say. Otherwise, folks are going to start suing. And what Candace Owens is setting herself up for is she's gonna have like 5-6 people suing her simultaneously. And some of those people are going to win. Now, I know some of the Candace Owens cult leaders and mega fans are going to be in the comments like, you're an idiot, you're stupid. Candace is the greatest thing ever. She's not going to get sued. She's not going to lose. She's going to beat them all. You're delusional. It's going to happen. I'm just being honest because I actually kind of want what's best for her. Like, I don't want her to get sued and have to pay up all this money and stuff like that. But the route that she's going, and again, I don't even understand why she's going this route. She has a huge platform. She's smart. She's intelligent. I like a lot of what she has to say in her takes. Why choose these weird conspiracies regarding Charlie Kirk anyway? I just never understood it. I don't like it. It just is what it is. Let me show you guys something else. A little bit of how this whole thing even started. Some of you guys might be wondering, like, okay, who the heck is Josh Hammer? What are you even talking about? What's going on? Okay, so Josh Hammer is somebody who was associated. He's a Jewish guy. He's Jewish. He's associated with Charlie Kirk, and apparently he was one of the people in that text thread when Charlie Kirk was saying that one of the donors is going to pull $2 million away and he's a Jewish donor and blah, blah, blah. Let's actually go ahead and hear it. This is what Candace had to say about Josh Hammer.
Josh Hammer, for weeks after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, Josh Hammer obsessively and shamelessly accused people of lying, people of grifting, people of attempting to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. Charlie Kirk was his friend, he claimed rather maniacally, that Charlie never once flinched on the topic of Israel. He died just loving Israel. It was like, are you kidding me? That's all he cared about. Check out just some of these tweets, by the way. This is a collage. We just don't have all day here to gather crazy Josh Hammer tweets, but you get the idea. There is a repulsive op right now to hijack Charlie Kirk's legacy. There is a repulsive op right now desecrating Charlie's memory by trying to posthumously convert him to Groyperism. Can't believe there's something known as Groyperism. I was given access to this letter a few months ago, and I read it at that time. Tucker, Candace, and other bad faith actors are lying through their teeth about Charlie and Israel. Candace Owens and other grifters, you get that back up for a quick second. Candace Owens and other grifters are trying to posthumously rewrite and hijack the legacy of the great Charlie Kirk to further their patently evil ends. There has been a repulsive op. The reality is simple. Charlie was a bridge. Like, it's weird that he keeps repeating that sentence. Like I said, maniacal, obsessed. And of course, in the comfort of his own derangement and with the full support of the press and the silence of Charlie's other quote unquote friends, Josh was really acting the part of a true Pharisee. He was certain that the truth would not rise again. He was so confident that he had killed it and that he could himself hijack the legacy of Charlie Kirk. Except the truth did kind of rise again. It kind of always does rise again. And the world now knows that Josh Hammer had personal, intimate knowledge that Charlie's views were changing. He lied about the Hamptons meeting. I've told you the truth from day one. Seth Dillon and Josh were personally upset with Charlie's defiance against the state of Israel. Seth Dillon was the more vocal of the two parties in the Hamptons, as I said, in terms of actually pressing Charlie, but both of them were upset about the way that they saw his viewpoints shifting. And Tucker was therefore correct at Charlie Kirk's memorial. It was definitely the correct analogy when he spoke about these sorts of individuals who plot and lie and think that they are going to be successful in, well, murder.
Okay, so that's what Candace Owens said about Josh Hammer. And then after that, Josh Hammer responded. He posted a series of tweets and all that other stuff. And then Candace Owens went ahead and fired back at him. And here's what she said.
I'm going to tell you guys also in an update about Josh Hammer. He's an idiot. He really is an idiot. First and foremost, just funny. I should have pulled it up. He also brought up his book. He issued a statement about the retreat weekend. Josh Hammer just lies through his teeth all the time. And so he was releasing a statement about how wonderful the Hamptons retreat was and that him and Seth Dillon totally did not press Charlie on anything. And in this public statement, he mentioned his book again. He said, like, I came to the Hamptons because Charlie wanted me to bring signed copies of my book. I mean, wacky. This man, it's always appropriate if you're Josh Hammer to promote your book, which is just amazing. Charlie Kirk, my friend, is dead. And he was publicly executed. You can head over to our website, CandaceOwens.com. You can sign up, buy yourself a hat. His response yesterday to our episode was to release text messages between him and Charlie following the call. Great. It lets us know that the call happened at the exact same time that we've
All right, I think you guys get the point. The bottom line is, in terms of the Macron lawsuit, I think she might not lose that one. She very well could, though. But the bottom line is that lawsuit's very likely going to end in a settlement. Most lawsuits do, for those who don't know. Like 75-80% of them end in settlements. What'll probably happen is they'll fight in court for however long. It could be years. And then eventually Candace Owens will probably settle. And regardless, getting sued this many times for the crazy stuff that you say, I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, you know? Like, if you're going to keep saying all this stuff and people keep suing you, you should probably change, like, what you're saying and what you're doing, you know? Because I don't know, man. Not a huge fan of where Candace Owens has been talking about and where she's going these days, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, that's today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.